Hey guys, it's Jase at Jase Outdoors. This video, I'm just getting my stuff together, getting ready. The season starts in a couple days, and I just thought I would show you how I go about hiding my professional gear when I'm out filming hunts. So no matter what level you're on, you just want to get out and film something. Hiding your gear is pretty important. Yeah, you could go out there in the woods with a tripod and, set up in some brush. As long as there's nothing shiny on your camera, you'll probably be okay. But the last thing that I want to have happen is my gear wrecks a hunt or something, shining. For me, I went with a shield because at some point I'm gonna have to move. My hand has to focus or just hit some of these controls. I run mostly in manual, but for you guys that just doing auto, or maybe you have a zoom controller back here where you really don't even have to reach up, it won't be as much of an issue. I know a lot of guys will just drape over cloth or whatever. Me personally, I wanted something that would shield me completely, that would hide any kind of movement, that if I have to reach up here, like I said, I have to manual focus, so I have to use this hand to reach up, and it's just so easy. And to me, that was the biggest factor is when I get to a spot, I can't be like pulling a cloth out of my bag and draping over. It's already ready to go. If I want to take it off, all I got to do is it's my lens hood. So I just thought I would share with you, how I go about putting this together. It's pretty darn easy. I even have one for my really big camera. A lot of times I'll run this really big lens right here when I'm filming for the Outdoor Channel or something, and just want to zoom in there and get some pretty cool footage. So I run this one on here, but so this is how I went about doing it.
Boy, so this is where I wish I had a sewing machine and I knew how to use it, as I could probably make this a lot better. So if you know what you're doing with a sewing machine, you could probably do this nicely. But basically, I'm just going to cut this material out right here from where my lens is going to go, and I'm going to use some tie straps to just fasten that on there, and I'll probably use some glue. So this will basically fold in onto the pipe clamp, and I'll just ratchet around those, so when I put on my lens hood, it doesn't booger it up too bad, although it's pretty boogered up anyways. So when I put this hole in, I want to leave it down below the top a little bit, so when my lens is right here, I have some stuff sticking up over, so that when I have to bring my hand up to focus, I still have a little bit of a shield there to block the top of my hand. So basically just fold these back and trim where I need to. I like to keep the part in that you screw down on the very bottom, and with this screw facing out this way, so if I would ever need to tighten this in the field, it's on the side I usually sit on. It'll be hard to hand tighten it, but I don't think I've ever had to do that yet, knock on wood. I do off-center this just a tad. I make the left side a little bit longer because all my movement, if any hand is going to move, it's my left hand to reach up and grab focus. So I like to have this just a little longer on this side, and then I can curl this in, if I'm up against a tree or something, but it just kind of shields your hand nicely. So I'm just going to cut a little hole right here so that I can run my zip tie through that, which will go around my wire. And I'm going to put that one right in the center. Make sure that the end part is up and away from down here, or else you won't be able to get it over your lens. Probably going to put one here and here so it follows the pipe clamp a little bit there, like that, and then straighten it out here. So I'll put 2 more in here. All right, so then I'll just go down through here and put little slots and zip tie all along here then to hold the fabric to this. Again, there's probably plenty better different ways if you can sew it, but I can't, so this is the way I'm going to have to do it. I'll also put some zip ties around here just to hold everything in place. So I'm probably going to end up just putting a couple more tie straps on here just to keep it tight to this. The really nice thing about this lens hood that I don't know many of them have, especially my bigger one, it has the slots in here. So when I put this in here, I can run a tie strap around my pipe clamp in through that slot, and this won't slide off of there. If you put this clamp around this and then tighten it down with this screw, it'll be on there really snug. But at some point in the woods, knocking it off trees, you know, pulling it in and out of the vehicle, it'll pull it off. So if you had anything like this, it just really prevents it from popping off. And then when you don't want this on, you know, all you do is untwist this from your lens, and this will come with it. So that is pretty cool there. That's it. I got that clamped all around there. That's going to fit right onto my lens hood. Turn this around, and this is what it looks like from the front. Now, this material is a lot holier than I want it. I would just rather it be solid material, but I do not have any, and it's 2 days before the season starts when I realized my one from a couple years ago is not holding up. So I'm just throwing this together to kind of get me by. So what I'm going to do to hide some of these holes is put these plastic leaves on. It's kind of fall colors, but I guess, you know, put more of the green on there just to cover up some of these holes and to break up this straight line up here. So I will pin these on here as well.
Now for this big camera, this big lens, I actually went a step further and I put 2 of those rubber wires here. I ran another one down along the side so it comes out along the bottom, so I can mold this however I need to. When it's on the tripod, I can shape this to get it away from my legs or even from the tripod, and then I have some up the top so that I could fold the top away. Again, the top is kind of important for me so that I can reach my hand up there above the camera, and I won't be spotted moving. So that's just it. I threw on these plastic leaves just to kind of give it some depth, make it look a little 3D, break up the edges a little bit. But it's I think it works. A lot of guys might say, oh, well, there's too much movement when you have to pan the camera. Well, I don't care what you put on the camera. If you drape something over it, you're still moving the camera. When the turkeys are coming in and you're moving with them, they don't notice it. And I have successfully filmed the hunt for the Outdoor Channel where I didn't even sit up against anything. I literally sat it on the ground and I sat directly behind it, just enough I could see over top of it like this, and had nothing else around me. And we had 2 longbeards come in, and it was pretty cool. So this, you just kind of look like a bush sitting there. So to me, I think that's the biggest factor when you're filming hunts is hiding. I mean, you gotta blend in, and I think that this works really well. If you end up trying something like this, I would love to know your thoughts and how you made out using it. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you find this to be helpful at all, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks, guys.